doing my PhD at the University of Western Australia, so studying coastal engineering. When I was in high school, I really liked math and science, and I actually wanted to go into architecture originally, but then I realized what I liked about it was more the technical side of it, and less so I didn't have a very artistic side, so I figured engineering was actually a better fit for me. Going into engineering originally in my undergraduate was, it was a very broad field that I figured, you know, if I go into that I can sort of figure out what areas I like and don't like, and that's kind of how I fell upon coastal engineering. Generally I have a couple hours where I'm sort of just sending emails or communicating with my supervisors on what I've been up to, asking questions about certain areas, and then normally another part of my day consists of either fieldwork or prepping for fieldwork, whether that means getting instruments ready or actually physically going out into the field, making sure everything's working properly, and then the rest of my day is normally the data analysis, data processing. I mean, I really do enjoy the fieldwork. I find it something that if I wasn't doing a PhD, I don't know if I'd get the same experiences, so it's been really interesting in a lot of areas that I'm not very familiar with, so kind of just being thrown into the deep end and just trying to learn as much as I can has been really interesting. And I also just really like the idea that with a PhD you can kind of explore what areas you're most interested in. Part of the pros of a PhD is you get a lot of independence, you get to do sort of what you want and follow the areas that you're passionate about, but with that it also comes a lot of responsibility and figuring things out on your own, which can be challenging at times. I'm used to, in high school and in my undergraduate, I had always had the answer, so whether I was right or wrong I was told yes or no, and now I'm doing things that there may not be an answer yet. That's the point of the research, and so it's exciting, but it also can be hard when you don't really know exactly what to do and when to do it. I think one of the biggest things, which I actually thought myself at first when I was younger and thought of people who do PhDs, is they become a professor. That's sort of the route that you go into academia after your PhD, but that's not always the case, and actually is becoming, there's a lot of people who do their PhDs that end up going into industry or really anything. How do you stay motivated through it, which is a tough one. I think it's the first time that I've ever had a situation where I need to motivate myself with this 3-year plan, and trying to kind of keep yourself on track. It's hard to know if you're on track, but I think what helps with that is the passion and following the areas that you're interested in. I'm studying the physical oceanography along the Torbay coastline, and it's a very diverse site. It has a lot of sandy areas, rocky areas. There's huge waves coming in that erodes the beach seasonally, and so there's a lot of hydrodynamic and morphodynamic change throughout the year. So there's not a lot of baseline data as to how these natural processes occur. So I'm looking to understand that baseline, those baseline conditions. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful spot. I love studying here. I mean, every time I go out to the site, I ask myself, like, how does this work? You know, it's just so beautiful. Every area is different along the coastline here. So you have areas of long stretches of sandy beach. You've got these large cliffs with these huge waves. And so it's very diverse, which I really like. And the prospect of having it as sort of a wave energy hub or testing site is really promising and really interesting and fascinating to me. I would say, I mean, just go for it. I was hesitant, especially doing a PhD. I didn't really plan on it, wasn't really thinking that was the route I wanted to take, but once the opportunity came around, I thought, why not just go for it and see how it goes? And I feel like you learn so much by just throwing yourself in the deep end and just going for it. Science in general, I think it's just really exciting to learn. There's so many things about the world that we don't know, so science is a great way to explore that and learn